With the Duleep Trophy squad being announced last week and it featuring a lot of the middle order hopefuls for the India Test team, it seems like this tournament could decide India's batting lineup for the Test vs Bangladesh. Firstly, what is the Duleep Trophy? It's a yearly Red Ball tournament that puts the best players in India against each other. This year there are 4 squads who will play 3 matches against each other, and looking at how many spots are available in the Test team, with Jaiswal, Rohit, Gill and Kohli looking nailed on at 1 to 4, and then you have Jadeja, Ashwin, Kuldeep and the 2 seamers, and as we know Rohit likes the bowling depth, that leaves you with 3 middle order batsmen in the Test 11. Having gone through the squads, I think these are the players who can make it. Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Sarfaraz Khan, Rajat Patidar, Rishabh Pant, Dhruv Jurel, Riyan Parag, Devdutt Padikkal, Sai Sudarshan, Guy, Kishan and Mushir Khan. That's a long list, but you can probably rule out a few immediately. However, if they score big runs, who knows. Firstly, Mushir Khan. I highly rate this player, but perhaps is a little bit too soon. He's had an excellent Ranji Trophy season last year, but maybe he's a bit too raw to chuck into a test match setting, and like his brother he may have to wait for his opportunity. Secondly, Rajat Patidar. I don't think he has a volume of runs behind him, and the way that he failed versus England would make the selectors reluctant to pick him. I also don't think he has the technique to play in Australia, which selectors must have an eye towards. Lastly, Ishan Kishan. He hasn't played much red ball cricket, and with Pant and Jurel there are simply better options. That leaves you with 9 players into 3. Firstly, I do think we can select our keeper though, and I think this will have to be Rishabh Pant. We know that he's a game changer and has had a successful comeback so far. I think his talent's too much to ignore and he's probably nailed on. Furthermore, he's shown he can score runs in Australia where India are touring. Although this is probably a bit harsh on Jurel and KL Rahul, both are definitely good enough to get into the side as a pure batsman, so may have to just focus on that. That leaves 2 more spots in the middle order. And to rule out 2 more names, I think we can rule out Padikkal and Sky. Padikkal scored a 50 on debut versus England, but I feel that his name really isn't around the squad anymore, and he got lucky with injuries and the timing of forms get picked last year. Last year he scored a big 100 in Ranji Trophy and A matches just before selection. With an overall average of 44 in the first class arena, it doesn't force you to stick with him. With Sky, he's made his desire known to want to play Test cricket again, but I don't think he has the red ball runs to merit this. And overall his Ranji record is okay, but not spectacular. That leaves 6 players for these last 2 spots. So to rule out the last 4, I think we can go in order. Firstly, Jurel. I think maybe he's been cast as a wicketkeeper batsman, and it remains to be seen whether they would actually trust him at number 6 as a pure batsman. Technically, it looks like he has the game, he's just an unknown at this quantity, so I don't think he'll get in. The next 2 players are players who I think will have long India careers ahead of them, but probably won't wait aside. Riyan Parag. This boy is talented, but he just doesn't have the numbers, which is a shame. But a good Duleep Trophy may get him close, but he will have to smash the door down. I really like the player though, he looks technically solid and recently made an ODI debut, but he needs a big Ranji and A-team season to make the Test squad. Secondly, Sai Sudarshan. He doesn't have an excellent first class record, but on the eye test he looks very assured, especially against pace. He played well versus South Africa in some ODIs and has played county cricket for Surrey. In terms of ceiling, I think he's up there with one of the players I'd expect to play for India at the Test level for a long time, but I do think we haven't seen him score big runs on turners, and a first class average of 37 makes you wonder why this is the case. For this reason, I don't think he'll make the side. Lastly, Shreyas Iyer. He had the spot nailed down before the England tour last year, but much was made of his performance versus England and subsequent back issues, and then also not playing Ranji Trophy. He's shown that he's a great player of spin, but does he have the all-round game to really be successful at the Test level? I think the jury's still out. So, who are my picks for the Test team? Firstly, I think you've got to go with Sarfaraz Khan. As a middle order player, he's sort of everything you need. Combative and aggressive. He can dominate in that middle order, and whilst unproven outside Asia, his cameos last year surely mean that he keeps his place in the side. Secondly, KL Rahul. He is simply a batsman of pure class and can bat in the middle order, and at 32 you feel that maybe it's the time for him to really come of age and cement his place as a world-class Test batsman. We've seen him play great knocks, but hasn't been consistent over a period of time. Also, he scored runs in Australia, so it makes sense that the selectors would play him with an eye towards that. So that's who I think will make the Test team, but let me know what your thoughts are in the comments and if you're excited to watch the Duleep Trophy.